again. I just want to talk a little bit about boxing. Deontay Wilder is gonna possibly he's gonna fight Dominic Brazil, uh, the guy that fought and lost in 7 rounds to lost in 4 7 rounds to Anthony Joshua. And a lot of people say he's not too popular. They don't want to see that fight happening, but the WBC had to mandate him to make that fight because not too many people are fighting right now. So that's gonna be a good watch. I want to see Deontay in the ring defending that belt once again. Even though Tyson Fury ducked that fight, they didn't want to scrap up with him. That would be a good fight. Uh, I just want to see Deontay Wilder busy. I think, in my opinion, Deontay Wilder, what he should do is stay right now with that belt and keep defending it. Keep himself active. Try to lure the other fighters, young up-and-coming fighters, to fight against him, and just avoid all the politics in boxing, and just defend his belt over here in the United States. Um, in the business aspect, the taxes is not going to be profitable if he fights in the UK anyway. He got to pay taxes to two places, and if he was fighting in New York in the MSG, they're going to kill him in the taxes anyway too. So I think what Deontay Wilder should just fight what he's been fighting, like in the Barclays, or try to steal away from the Barclays, go to Las Vegas, somewhere what Floyd did, and lower paying the taxes, make the most money, give himself the most exposure. There's still a lot of credible heavyweights that he could fight. There's a possibility of him fighting Usyk too, once he gets his Dominic Brazil fight out of the way, and just keep defending that belt. And once he gets enough defenses, and if he many various times against a lot of credible heavyweights, and he's done pretty good. The Tyson Fury fight, if the referee was more sure to start fight at the last 12 in the 12th round, I think Fury received Korea damage punishment in that fight. That's why he doesn't want to get. He could possibly get hurt. Heard that in another show also. That's boxing show. A lot of people the same thing that I'm saying now. Tyson Fury doesn't want to make that fight. He doesn't get hurt. He wants to prolong his career, his heavyweight career. He knows if he fights Deontay Wilder in a rematch, Deontay Wilder he knows what and he's gonna be able to close the fight, cut the ring off better. He knows the guy can't hurt him. He got that pity pat style. He's a big opponent, a big target, and he's not that fluid with his boxing as people think. So he took a lot of damage in that fight. So we don't know what's the accumulation of that damage yet, because we haven't seen Tyson Fury fight anybody credible, and he's avoiding a fight with the rematch. So he's gonna probably fight like a C-class fighter, make a little money with that ESPN contract that he made, and steal away completely from Deontay Wilder, even Anthony Joshua. So he probably get a second tier belt like that WBA belt that's available. I think he even have a hard time fighting against the current champion of that WBA regular belt, Manuel Charr, the Lebanese champion, who's been highly avoided. People don't want to fight him. I always see him on the internet, always training. He's always in his IG and Instagram channel, always training, making videos, and looking for possible opponents. But people was giving him a song and dance all the time. First, Quendo didn't want to take the rematch, and then they're supposed to put the interim WBA champion against him, and unify those two pieces of WBA, and see if he will get a title against one of the other fighters. But as a second tier belt, I think that's a good belt. I can understand why the WBA created that belt. It gives an opportunity for current heavyweights that are ranked by the WBA to show their stuff, and be a defending champion. The opportunity to fight one of these other Danny Jacobs did with that belt. Danny Jacobs, in my opinion, became a better fighter when he was the WBA regular champion at 160 pounds, defended several times, beat several fighters, and for him to fight against Triple G, he did a much better performance. Even though he got tagged early, he dropped. He was able to assert his skills and acclimate himself that fight, and gave a better performance than people expected. He fought like a champion against Triple G, and many scholars in the boxing, and many reporters say that Danny Jacobs possibly won that fight. But what he did was he won the respect of his fans, and so allowed his fighter to go to fight in Matchroom with Eddie Hearn, and he fought all the top tier middleweights available. I mean, people were saying, "Oh, he's not filling up this place," but he was filling up his heart, and he was get acclimated at that level, middleweight professionalism, by fighting all these fighters that he fought when he was under Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn gave him the opportunity against this gentleman. The fighter that had a couple of fights, and that he only had a couple of knockouts, and the IBF champion, number one contender, and became IBF champion. So, when he became IBF champion by going the distance, and he smothered him in that fight. I mean, that fight, if the referee was more safety conscious, he could have stopped that fight, because he was a buzzer on that fight. He was a buzzer on that fight when he became champion of the world, Danny Jacobs. And this gentleman, I forget his name, he's a and now he's gonna get this Canelo fight because of that. So Canelo had a contract with that DAZN, and also Danny Jacobs got that contract. Even Canelo saying that that fight right there, tier fighters, is very confident. He himself is very assertive. He's training very hard for this fight. He might not be the best puncher in the fighter, might be the biggest fighter in the division, might not be the most skilled, but one thing for sure, he's training his butt off for this fight. So him against Canelo Alvarez would be a great fight. I think that fight right there, if he manages to win that fight, there's gonna be a rematch against Canelo, and the sky's the limit. Okay, if he wins that fight, then Triple G is on in the shadow somewhere, looking to attain his top tier status in the middleweight division. I don't really think he's gonna go to the 168 like Billy Joe Sanders did. That he went for the opportunity for the vacant WBO 168 championship. I think when he wins that belt, also he might go back to middleweight. Middleweight is still real hot, has a lot of top tier fighters, has a lot of avenues of money to make. It's for a glamour division, in my opinion, and we're gonna see a lot of regular title make guys like Danny Jacobs a better fighter. That WNBA regular gentleman right here, a much better fighter. So I want to show a video, man. Talk about a little bit boxing right here at this time. We got Anthony Joshua.
Let me ask you a question, brother. You know the chairs that are out front there? And I have my bag behind there tonight.